Hi, this is Majinoni, and here's my review for Venom number 12 and Catwoman number 5. I'll do Catwoman first. Now, basically, with Catwoman, I like the direction that it's actually going in. If you remember in the first issue, there was the TNA session with Batman, which caused this huge uproar on the internet because how dare you show DC women with no clothing on type thing. And basically over the last few issues, they've gotten away from that, and then they've also gotten away from Batman. While Batman did make an appearance in one of the issues, he wasn't like a primary driving force. Now this issue, though, I have to say, is they brought back a little TNA, but it's not. At least it's not the primary focus of every single issue. Now, what they've been doing with Catwoman is she's basically on the run type thing. She lost one of her best friends. She ended up in this issue here. She ends up with a bag full of money, and she knows that that's mob money, so she decides to spend it. And that's where you get some TNA when she goes to get pampered. And then from there, it's basically a chase. Overall, like I said, I'm enjoying it. I think the art's been really good. It's not what I would say the strongest of the Batman titles, but I think it really holds up on its own. And I think they're doing a really good job at reestablishing Catwoman back into the DC universe in terms of having her own monthly. Now, I know Catwoman historically has had a long run and then it eventually just, it gets canceled. So my guess is that something similar is probably going to happen with this. There's only so long you're going to be able to keep this character going before somebody runs out of ideas, and then the sales start slipping. But I'll admit, at least for the time being, I'm really enjoying it, and I'll at least stick with it for another. I'm looking at it as right now. I'm planning on sticking on it for at least a year, and as long as they keep me entertained. And from the direction I'm seeing, I'm really enjoying it because I love the cat and mouse type chasing. She's on the run from the cops, she's on the run from the mob, and they're not even introducing super powerful villains to fight her. It's more ordinary type situations that she's on the run from. So I think that part's also good, but I think eventually they're going to need to give her rogues gallery again. But at least for right now, I like it in the sense that it's a change, it's a little bit different than all the other stories that came out where it's like, boom, here's the hero, and now here's the villain, let's fight. While there's villains, it's a little bit different. But anyways, so far, good job. Now let's talk about Venom. Now, I really do like a lot of Remender's works. This one, I'm still on the fence. I don't know what's the deal. I think there's parts of it that I really like, and there's parts of it that I really it just bothers me, and I don't like it at all. Now, I fully understand and admit I'm liking it right now because of the Jack-o'-lantern character. I love the character. I love his look. I love the way he's manipulating Venom. And I think they've really risen his character to a higher level than they've had him in the past. I mean, in the past, he's always was a Spider-Man patsy villain. Got Green Goblin wannabe clone that always just was nothing. But they've made him a little bit more dangerous, and I like that. Now, in this issue here, what we have is Flash Thompson going to Vegas to settle some differences. And this is where I'm kind of torn with it. I think, for me, part of the appeal to the Flash Thompson Venom character is the fact that he didn't have legs. He had a time limit. He can, if the longer he stayed as Venom, then eventually Venom would take over. There was also the problem of, technically he was only supposed to stay Venom for so long, and then the government would have the military would have taken him off the project and given the suit to somebody else. As expected, Flash Thompson still has the suit and probably will continue to keep the suit until either sales completely lag and then they do away with this concept, or some other writer finally decides to make Venom a true villain again. So one of those two conditions will happen, and that's when we'll forget about this nonsense. Now, the minute they gave Flash Thompson feet long term, like in this issue, I think it really took a lot from the character. Keep in mind, with wheelchair Flash Thompson, unique character, something that made him stand apart from everybody else. Flash Thompson with feet, same thing. He's the same as everybody else. He's the same as Peter Parker. He's the same as Tony Stark, Captain America. Granted, there's differences in personality, but there's nothing that makes him a special character any longer. And in this issue here, he realizes, my friends and family are constantly going to be in danger, so he breaks up with Betty. Now, granted, I don't fault that storyline at all. I can understand that line of reasoning, but if you really think about it, do you honestly think Jack-o'-lantern, who's twisted, would go, "Oh, you broke up with Betty, so I won't go kill her"? No, I think he would still go, and in fact, he still goes after her at the end. It's like I don't know what thought process goes through these superheroes' heads that they think that the minute they break up or lose ties with somebody, the villain will not go after them. If I was a villain, I'd go after them, because I just on the off chance that maybe they're lying, and then that the person really does have feelings for it. And the fact that you're still going after a friend or a family member or a beloved one, causes such psychological trauma to the person that I would just start from the first girlfriend and work my way to the end, and I don't care if they've been broken up for 2 years. I'd still go out and kill them. That sends a message, and that's the thing these stupid superheroes don't understand is, you can't stop that you can't protect these people by just breaking up with them. But anyways, the other problem that I had with this is the fact of how he becomes an alcoholic at the end. And to me, I'm not taking away anything that happened to the Flash character. His father died. He went through that trauma. The trauma of Betty, the trauma of, having Venom on him and all that other stuff. And, I think, okay, fine, he's a weak person and then he went to alcohol. That's fine. But when I read that, then only thing I thought of was Tony Stark. The Demon in the Bottle story, and then what they're doing right now in his storyline where he drank during Fear itself. So I'm like going, it's too soon for another alcoholic superhero. If they didn't deal with if Tony didn't drink during Fear itself, I think I could accept him drinking a little bit more. But what's it going to do is, you're going to have, if Flash is drinking and Venom comes in, and Venom's just going to be a raving lunatic. So, what? I don't know if Marvel is willing to handle the consequences of something like that happening. Now, these sequences here I thought was great. Flash eventually does lose control, and Flash is basically trying to get Toxin, and instead of capturing Toxin, Venom takes over and goes, "Toxin must die," and all of these sequences, fantastic. This, maybe not so fantastic. But like this page here, really good, strong. All of this, I love the battle, and this is part of the thing. I love Jack-o'-lantern. I love the fire, the costume, even the stupid broom. I love it all, and I think the two characters are playing really well against each other, and Remender's doing a fantastic job with bouncing them back and forth. But I think Flash Thompson is such a flawed hero that on one hand I can see while that would appeal to people, on another hand it just makes me want to bang my head against the table, because there's so many, you don't understand how many flawed heroes I see in anime, and it just makes me want to cringe when I see another one. So when I see a character with potential to become, something interesting, something unique, something amazing, and I just see him, I just see little things happening that I can just see that this is going to be one of these emo-ish, angsty characters that's just going to take him to the lowest pits of hell. I don't want to see that right now. I want to see something more heroic. I've already seen the dark times, and I want to see, now's the time I want to see the light. I want to see true heroes. I want to see people stepping up to the plate and knocking down evil. And Well, I get it in other books, and I'm very appreciative of that. Part of me, I don't know if I'm ready for this take of the character Venom and Flash, especially Flash. But anyways, that's my review of these two books. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down. Let me know what you think. And take a drink on Flash. And until next time.